most storied programs in women's college basketball, and off we go. And it will be Paldo, the freshman from Patterson, New Jersey, with the first touch. And the way that Tennessee plays, Sarah, would expect some turnovers, and right away, it's Uconn with the first swipe of the game.
And Tennessee is vulnerable. That is going to be one of the biggest keys of this game with the ways Huskies turn opponents over.
Well, they turn it over, they can cough it up like they did there. Baseline drive and an early bucket for the senior AZ Fudd. So Uconn 22-0. They have been blitzing everybody in Big East play by 25 or more points. They have not been challenged since early this season. Their only single-digit game was a three-point win over Michigan. Janiah Barker off the mark from deep. Everybody battling for the rebound. Look at KK Arnold. Mask on with that broken nose a couple of months ago, and it's going to result in a tie-up, and the ball belongs to Uconn. Well, just the second season for Kim Caldwell, but she's the only person that's over 500 in her career against Gino Auriemma because she's 1-0 after beating him last year.
She has got a fierceness and a fiery way in which she approaches this game. Tremendous amount of winning through the course of her career. Yeah, it's a good way to put it. But overall, for Coach Caldwell, she understands and her girls understand exactly how they want to play. Very systematic, and you see a lot of three-point looks.
Speaking of three-point looks, AZ Fudd, one of the best shooters in the country, has the first 5 of the game. And then she gets a steal. Out of bounds, and it stays with Uconn. What a start for the Huskies.
And this is the reason why Uconn is so incredible through the course of this season. It's not just about their efficiency offensively, of which they lead the country. It's the defensive side of things for Gino Auriemma. Yeah, you can look at some of the numbers there. We could spend this entire day talking about his accomplishments. 12 national championships, 41st season as UConn head coach. They look to hang banners, and this team understands that. That's why they come out with an edge. Feels like every single day, but this is another big test.
Shot is short for Sarah Strong, but a foul on the rebound, and that's going to go against Tennessee.
And that's where the balance is for Tennessee, understanding coming in as the 15th ranked team. And to their credit, they've had a tremendous start to their season as well. As I mentioned, they started SEC play 6-0. They had won 7 straight games prior to that loss to Mississippi State.
Kim Caldwell said that was their most disappointing loss of the season by far. She just felt they were never ready, never in that game. And they're having trouble right now containing AZ Fudd. My goodness. Fudd 7, Tennessee nothing.
She can pour it, and she understands how to get to her spots, the efficiency of which she's able to attack an offense by her looks and by her ability to score at all 3 levels.
And Tennessee starting cold. Spearman off the mark. And we talk so much about Sarah Strong, but Fudd is 3rd in the conference in Big East play and scoring as well. So they have so many weapons. Arnold driving kick. Here is Strong. Driving, has it stripped, taken away by Latham.
It's a nice defense by Latham. And for Tennessee, too, just to settle in a little bit, taking the atmosphere and get themselves into the type of offensive style that they're looking to settle into. But it's been such a challenge. And we're talking about the defensive side, but offensively, AZ Fudd, she just goes to work here off of an excellent screen by Sarah Strong, sets it up, gets the bounce to go. Those bounces weren't dropping early in the last game for UConn. This time they are. Sweet along the baseline. Really methodical approach for Fudd, a player who has been so pivotal to what UConn has done and demonstrated this season. And
remember last year, she was the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Almost another turnover. Tennessee is really having fits on this end. And a block by Williams. And then a missed shot by Paldo, but she gets it back. In the corner, Jada Sybil in and out. Nothing going right for the Lady Vols. Here comes KK Arnold. Inside, off the glass, no, but a foul on Nia Robertson.
And despite the foul by Robertson, overall for Tennessee, I do like the way they got back in their transition defense, and that's going to be an important aspect for them. So talk about settling in. The thing about how fast the Volunteers want to play is that that's a speed that the Huskies can play at as well. So you've got to be very conscious of when a shot goes up or if there is a turnover, the get-back game of that transition deep.
Arnold, 74% shooter, but off on the first. Tennessee also had to battle some issues getting here yesterday. There was snow in Knoxville, so their flight, they were supposed to get in around noon, and practice here they did not. They got in around 8:30, and the first time they walked in the gym was 10:30 this morning.
And those are the type of things that you try and turn that into just a point of energy and a point of focus, attention to detail, knowing that you got to have a level of resiliency sometimes, especially I know everyone's dealing with it across the country with some of this weather and some of the travel issues, but certainly not an easy situation to step into when you're trying to prepare yourself for one of the bigger games of your season.
Yeah, and Kim Caldwell said, look, we're certainly not going to use that as an excuse. Everybody has to deal with that stuff, but not ideal for the Vols, and certainly not off to an ideal start right now. Janiah Barker driving and scoring the first points for Tennessee.
Big, strong take by Janiah Barker. You love to see that. She came over from UCLA, and she's a player that can get downhill and use her size.
Baseline jumper, and that one does not drop for Shade. And Shade going for the steal, but Barker able to avoid it. Other thing about Coach Caldwell in Tennessee is they've got 4 or 5 players now ready to come in. She will substitute a ton, a lot of depth for both of these teams as Barker will get to the free throw line.
So this is a part of Tennessee, how they play, almost like a hockey line change, but they'll just continue to bring in, whether it's 4 or 5 players at a time. It allows them to play at the highest of levels of speed, of pace. Three-point shooting, we know, is going to be at a high volume, but also the type of pressure they want to put on defensively. The tough part is that for a team like Uconn, when they're making shots, how they're playing at that pace. For Tennessee, finding places and ways to disrupt them, you got to make baskets yourself as well to be able to put on that pressure.
I think you called it right, Sarah. It's a hockey line change, and you will see that consistently today from Kim Caldwell. Barker can't get the second. Spearman, though, offensive rebound, but she has it stripped. Arnold pushes. Shot fake into an 18-footer is pure for Ashlyn Shade.
Quick push, early offense.
And then Shade almost had the steal, but her foot was out of bounds. And Tennessee normally so good at speeding others up, Sarah, but they really feel sped up right now.
Well, in the tough way is that Uconn plays defensively in the same way that Tennessee wants to play. Look at these numbers. First in the country in the opponent points per game, the 3rd in steals, 5th in opponent field goal percentage. They will come at you in every single position. Excellent individual defenders, and collectively they are on a string.
Tennessee already 3 turnovers and 6 points for Uconn off of those turnovers. Spinning in the lane, Wild with a left hand that time, miss for Paul. AZ Fudd curls it around to Arnold and knocking it out of bounds. Here's Kanaya Boyd.
And good help there by Boyd. That last set, though, for Tennessee, they try and go 5 out, opportunity to operate in isolation with one-on-one sets, and that circles back again to where Uconn has very good individual defenders as well, so it's hard to break through.
Rare bad miss for Ashlyn Shade off the side of the backboard.
Opportunity for the Vols.
And here's Flau'jae Cooper. We haven't even called her name yet, but she is a very talented scorer. She has it stripped by Arnold. Up ahead, Heckel missed it. Off of Tennessee. Well, Tennessee is going to have to get several players going, but I mentioned Flau'jae Cooper. She's kind of the head of the snake at times for Kim Caldwell.
Very much so. And for Flau'jae Cooper, a big part of it, too, is what she can do on this defensive side of things, where she ranks in the SEC in steals per game.
Oh. But on the other end, Sarah Strong with her first triple of the afternoon. Able to beat the press. They've got a 3-on-2. Janiah Paul and AZ Fudd. Clean defense taking.
The call has been overturned. It is white ball to end line. UConn keeps their timeout.
So UConn already up 10, and now they have the basketball here with just inside of 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Racing it up, Kaylee Heckel. In the lane, and yes, she dragged that pivot foot and traveled.
And a nice shot stepping up there by Tennessee. Opportunity for Tennessee to actually put on their full court pressure and what they can do in their defense, which also their half-court defense is an area that Coach Caldwell feels like has been improving, but it is about getting yourselves opportunities to have that set.
Barker downtown, off the mark. Tennessee takes a ton of threes. They hit a ton, but they also only shoot them at around 30%. You have to think they're going to have to hit quite a few to stay in this ball game today. A triple on the other end. That one drops down for Ashlyn Shea.
And the other thing is defending the three-point line from Uconn. So far today, they have been perfect, and that's an area they're second in the country in their efficiency.
When Barker is firing, she's taken 3 triples. Unfortunately for Tennessee, missed them all. And here's Sarah Strong, matched up against Barker. Well, two-man game. What a play as Heckel feeds Strong.
Beautiful passing.
18-3 out of the gate here. Circus shot, but the freshman Paldo gets it to go.
And Paldo was tough. And her start as a freshman, especially through the course of December and January, she's really come on. She's been a pivotal piece.
Oh, man. AZ Fudd. Uconn just on fire.
They're on fire, but for them, this almost feels like the norm. And this is a standard that's been set this season of how they've been playing so effectively.
Long-range bomb and an answer from Nia Robertson, so both sides settling in.
You love to see that.
Nia Robertson over 1,500 career points, first and final year at Tennessee. And now the Vols get it back. Nifty dribbling from Sybil. Down the lane. And Jada Sybil will draw the foul on Sarah Strong.
Nice hard attack by Sybil, and that's a big part of what she's been able to do at a tough game against Mississippi State. But the ability to push, and again for Tennessee, if you can find ways to get stops, easier said than done. You can flow into that offense. You can dictate more of the tempo of how you want to play as we see these substitutions taking place again. The other challenge for the Volunteers, a big part of their success in so many areas, is wearing teams down with their depth. Well, on the flip side of things, Uconn has a ton of depth this season, and that has been a huge strength of their play.
Yeah, so many people talk about the Vols' depth. I think for Gino Auriemma, of his 41 years there, this is one of the deepest teams he's ever had.
No question. And you're not just talking about the skill and the talent. You even look at past years, and in particular the last few years, it's not that they haven't had the wealth of players, it's just they've dealt with so many injuries, and they've been shorthanded in so many cases. And you give them credit in the success they've had in these previous seasons because of that resiliency of shoring up the gaps. But now that they're fully loaded, they're showcasing exactly how dominant they can be.
And again, today, if you're just tuning in, they are without freshman star Blanca Quinones, but it has not bothered Uconn to this point. Here's Ali Zabel. She had 34 points last game. She gives it up. Strong can't hit. Offensive rebound, though, by Sarah Williams. Williams trying to slip it in. Dangerous pass. Loose ball. Tennessee comes away with it. Here's Flau'jae Cooper. She still has not scored. And she throws it away.
Boyd is down. Her extra effort play. She's not gotten a chance to be back up, and hopefully she's okay.
Yeah, Kanaya Boyd, sophomore from Las Vegas. She had a knee injury her senior year in high school, and you just hope that that's not what is bothering her here.
Well, she was hustling for that ball. She's the one who helped Tennessee come up with that initial turnover, but once she hit the ground, she did not get back up when possession went to Uconn's end. Or Tennessee's end, I should say. So watch her right there on the left side of your screen. Hustles for that play, gets it ahead to her teammate, but from there she remains on the floor. You can tell she's in some pain. Yeah, and it is.
It's like it might be that right knee. So Boyd sits, and Tennessee presses on, down 13. Paldo, the freshman, kick to the corner. There's Cooper, and Flau'jae Cooper is in the scoring column.
You were talking about her. Flau'jae Cooper has been such a huge part of this team, coming off that 19-point game against Mississippi State. Her efficiency not incredibly high from three, but similar to, as you have mentioned, about Tennessee, will shoot at a high volume, and she's been excellent on the defensive end, helping to fuel the Volunteers.
Now they force Uconn into their fourth turnover. I feel like at least for Tennessee, since that first media timeout, they've settled in a little bit here. Barker, a little bully ball right to the rim. Remember for Janiah Barker, UCLA last year lost to this Uconn team in the Final Four. But the Huskies, for the first time, a little careless with the basketball.
And you're seeing some of that swagger come in for this Tennessee team. And at times we talked about their travel issues and just getting yourself settled in, taking in the environment. It's white out here at the arena, and the fans have been live and they've been bringing a sense of energy. And also I think sometimes it takes a second to settle into what that environment feels like.
Now, there's 16,000 here, and it's a true sellout. KK Arnold has been all over the place defensively. And she traveled it. Baldo was right there, and she dragged her pivot foot, did Arnold. That's 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions for Uconn, Sarah.
A big part of that has been this Tennessee defense. They're putting pressure on the basketball. In some ways, the pace has slowed down some in a cadence that allows them to be a bit more effective.
A 10-2 run for the Vols over the last 2+ minutes. Barker against Strong to the corner. Open 3. Spearman. Tapped back to Spearman. And she puts it home. A 7-0 run. Down to 6 points now. And Shade has it knocked away. Paldo with some nifty ball handling. And stripped off of her leg, though, back to the Huskies.
Nonetheless, though, there's some good vibe and energy here by Tennessee as they're really feeling their way on the defensive side, but also offensively. Had a balance. Kim Caldwell has got to like what she's seeing out of the confidence and connectivity of her players.
She said after that loss to Mississippi State Thursday at home, I feel like I did not recognize my team, but this team in the last few minutes looks like the Lady Vols she's grown accustomed to. Heckel with a drive and finish on Paldo.
Tough tag. Wide open side there on the right, and she gets a step.
Shot clock off, final seconds of the first quarter. Talaysia Cooper gives it up. Spearman, high arcing, and she got it.